Before we dive in, we want to thank the homeowners who provided documents and helped us review and organize the material. Your contributions were instrumental in developing the list of questions we'll be sharing today. Jamie, hey, you remember the document we found where Roger, a former HOA president, said, "The association needs a plan demonstrating that the association is providing benefits for all homes in the community, not just the Kents."
I do. Even back then, there was already an acknowledgement that the Kents were receiving a disproportionate share of the association's resources.
Now, more than 22 years later, Roger's words ring just as true today as they did back in 2013.
It really puts today's discussions into perspective. Over the past few days, we've been reviewing HOA budgets, meeting minutes, and maintenance reports. And with the board now discussing next steps for the Kent units, we wanted to get this out quickly to give homeowners a clear understanding of the key issues. Let's begin with the issue of financial transparency. One of the long-standing concerns has been the absence of a clear breakdown of expenses specific to the Kent units. In 2022, a report was promised, but more than 3 years later, no detailed breakdown has been provided. Without the comprehensive report promised by Connie, how can the board or homeowners make informed decisions?
Yeah. Before burning through more cash for the Kents, I'd like to know the total amount we've already allocated to them. We also need to revisit the topic of property maintenance, especially the Kent stoops. Documents from as far back as 2010 emphasize that timely maintenance of the stoops was crucial to preventing water infiltration into garages and decks. Yet, records suggest that not all stoops were properly maintained, particularly in rental units, potentially contributing to ongoing structural issues. This raises critical questions. Were maintenance responsibilities adequately enforced? Are there inspection reports or other documentation? And if not, what actions, if any, were taken?
This brings us to an important, broader issue: accountability. If certain Kent owners did not fulfill their maintenance obligations, should the broader community now bear the cost of future repairs? It's a question of fairness and financial stewardship, and one the association will have to answer.
Looking at the historical record, we also found references from 2008, where Roger, in his leadership role, informed the community that Les would undertake a review of the Kents. However, we could not locate any reports or findings from that review. Having access to those results would provide important context for the discussions taking place today.
Today, Leslie, now serving as the current HOA president, is leading the conversations about additional funding for Kent repairs. I find it odd that Leslie hasn't discussed her 2008 review of the Kents.
Yeah, it raises questions. If a review was done back then, it seems like that history would be important context for the decisions being made now. Another area of concern is reserve planning. Despite the size and cost of the Kent garages, they are not included in the HOA's 30-year reserve study. This omission raises serious questions about the long-term financial planning of the association and whether all major community assets are being properly accounted for.
Related to that, governance documents reveal a pattern of treating the Kents as a somewhat separate entity within the HOA. References to Kent-specific maintenance plans and even distinct alarm systems for Kent garages. It begs the question, should the financial management of the Kents be handled differently to reflect that operational separation?
Finally, other issues in the documents include repeated planter box repairs that seem to have ongoing problems, delays in recommended deck sealing, garage doors and foundation repairs that may actually fall under individual homeowner responsibility.
We also noticed inconsistencies in how garage maintenance, common area, expenses have been reported over the years. Together, these patterns point to the need for more consistent, transparent financial reporting and better follow-through on repairs. To help homeowners engage effectively with the board, we've put together a list, more than 50 questions, each tied directly to HOA documents and past meeting notes.
We worked closely with a group of dedicated homeowners to boil down decades of information into clear, focused questions. No opinions, no exaggerations, just facts drawn straight from the official records.
Together, we made sure the questions stay sharp and to the point, free of hyperbole or emotion. but we didn't pull any punches either.
The board has a lot to answer for before we can even begin to have a serious conversation about the future of the Kents.
And if you believe these questions deserve answers before more money is spent, we encourage you. Show up to the HOA meetings. Ask these questions. And when the time comes to vote, vote against any assessment to fund repairs to the Kent units.
If you'd like access to the full list of questions, please email us at HighgateUnofficial@gmail.com.
And we hope you'll consider sending some or all of the questions directly to the board. You can email the board at HOABoard.HighgateRosslyn@gmail.com, and we suggest CCing Austin.Figueroa at Austin.Figueroa@fsresidential.com as well.
Thank you for listening.
If you found this episode helpful, please like and subscribe to stay informed about future updates.
And as always, we welcome your feedback and ideas for topics we should cover next.